Hi guys, this is the third part of this ILS receiver. I have done the reverse engineering of this synthesizer board here, and doing that I discovered that the reference clock input is not this oscillator as I suspected, but actually the reference oscillator comes from one terminal of this connector. So I have connected this terminal to a function generator here. This oscillator actually is a second local oscillator, so this is the block schematics of this receiver. So the antenna is here. So there is this bandpass filter we have seen on my previous video from 330 to 335 MHz. This is this assembly here. So there is the first mixer with a local oscillator which can be changed according to the channel. So the frequency is 21.4 MHz above the input frequency. So the result of the mixer is the sum of these two frequencies and the difference, but only the difference is used. So at the output of this piezo filter, there is a frequency of 21.4 MHz. So this signal is amplified, and there is a second mixer here with a fixed frequency of 20 MHz. So the result is a frequency of 1.4 MHz. So this signal is amplified and fed to a bandpass filter. So this is this filter with several LC adjustments here. And then there is a demodulation, which is probably in this area here. So this is the block schematic of the synthesizer. So there is first a phase detector, like in a standard PLL. So the output of this phase detector is fed to this transistor, and there is a low pass filter which gives a DC voltage at this terminal here. So I made some measurements. The voltage is from 10 to 20 volts here, and there is another output here which is fed to one terminal. So this is probably to detect a failure in the PLL. If the PLL is not locked, there should be a voltage which is too low or too high. So the first input of the phase detector is the reference frequency here, which is divided by 2 by this D flip-flop here. The second frequency comes from the VCO here. So the signal, as I suspected, is amplified by this transistor, which is this one here. And then the signal is fed to a divider by 10. This is a high frequency divider, an old part 11C90. The signal is fed to a divider by 2, and there is a programmable counter here. The ratio is defined by this 8 bits data here. The frequency of the output signal depends on the reference frequency and this programmable counter. There is also on this board a specific power supply for the VCO. So this is a classic linear voltage regulator. So there is a Zener diode here, which is supplied by the regulated voltage in order to have a stable current here. So I made some measurement. This voltage is 16.3 volts. The Zener voltage is 5.3 volts here. So for that purpose, there is another supply voltage here, which is this one here. So there is another power supply, which is set currently at 20 volts in order to provide this 16 volts here. So I will show you the reverse engineering of this synthesizer. As you can see, it was very complicated because of the conformal coating and some tracks are not visible. So this is the schematic of the phase detector. So this is quite complex, but more or less standard. You have a flip-flop here. So one input is fed to this flip-flop here, which set this inverted output here, which set this flip-flop, and the same for the second input here. And the output is taken from this signal here, and this is fed to the VCO. This schematics is a programmable counter. So there are 3 counters here, and the preset values of these counters come from the PROM, which is here, and the addresses of this PROM is actually the input bus in order to set the frequency of this oscillator. So it is quite complex. The counters are set in down counting mode. So first the value is set for each preset value of the counter, And when the counter arrives at 0, this terminal count here goes to high level, and this permits to reset the counter and to load the values, and the cycle restarts. So I made some measurement, and I found that the reference frequency here should be around 297 kHz in order to have an output frequency of 335 MHz or something like that. So on this setup, the addresses of the prom are left open, so I don't know the exact frequency. It should be interesting to connect the addresses to some deep switches or something like that in order to have different frequencies, but it is quite complex. It is not important for the moment. I have one specific frequency. I have connected the input of this board to a synthesizer, which is here. So the frequency of the synthesizer is set to 332.5 MHz, which is approximately in the middle of the frequency band. I have set the clock frequency of the synthesizer to this frequency, which is 279.67 MHz. For this clock input frequency, the output frequency of the synthesizer is exactly 353.9 MHz. I have also set the synthesizer in frequency modulation mode with the deviation frequency, I think, let me check the frequency. So the deviation frequency is 100 kHz. Okay, so at the input here we have a frequency of 332.5 MHz. And the deviation of the frequency modulation is 100 kHz and the frequency is 100 Hz. The local oscillator is set to 353.9 MHz, and this permits to have an intermediate frequency here of 21.4 MHz. And due to the frequency modulation, it is possible to measure with the spectrum analyzer this signal, and this will give the frequency response of this piezo filter here. So let's do this measurement. So I will show you the spectrum analyzer at the same time. So I will connect the probe at the output of the filter. I will make a measurement on this terminal here. So let's see what we have on the spectrum analyzer. So this is the frequency response of the piezo filter. As you can see, the frequency response is very square. The center frequency is 21.4 MHz and the span is 200 kHz as indicated on the screen. So that means that we have 20 MHz per division. So the frequency response is 30 kHz or something like that. The next step will be to test this second intermediate frequency amplifier, this one, and after that the demodulation circuit, which should be in this area here. So last time we have seen the first intermediate frequency amplifier, which is made by this filter here and this local oscillator. So today we will see the second IF amplifier, which is this one. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe 5 stages. There is one transistor also here. So I have set the synthesizer here to FM mode. In AM sine with the frequency modulation of 50 Hz and a deviation of 10 kHz. I will measure the signal at the cathode of the diode, which is probably used for the AM demodulation, which is just here. And this diode here. I have set the center frequency of the spectrum analyzer to 1.4 MHz and a span of 50 kHz. So let's do the measurement. This is the global response of this tuner. The span is 50 kHz, so the bandwidth of this thing is 20 kHz. I will change the FM modulation to an AM modulation. The sine modulation, the frequency modulation of 100 Hz. And I think that the depth of the modulation is 40%, if I remember correctly, for a normal ILS system. And I will turn on. I have to turn off the FM first. Okay. I will check the signal with the oscilloscope. I don't need the spectrum analyzer anymore. So I connect the probe to the cathode of this diode. Normally we should have the demodulated signal. Okay, this is a little bit distorted. I will decrease the level of the output because it is at 0 dBm, maybe it's too high. Okay. Okay, so the demodulated signal is here. The high frequency input level is minus 10 dBm. So if I reduce the amplitude of the high frequency signal, the demodulated signal decreases also. There is no automatic gain control of this system. We can check the frequency response. We can change the frequency of the sine modulation. This is 1 kHz. This is 13. So the bandwidth is close to 20 kHz at minus 3 dB. Some distortion. But anyway, for the glide slope, there are only two frequencies, 90 and 150 Hz. So this signal is maybe amplified by one of these op-amp, or maybe several ones, I don't know. You can start with this one. Yes, okay, so we have the signal at one of these outputs. So the signal is lower than the signal which provides from the rectifying diode here. So there is an attenuation here. Okay, so this is a DC signal. This is also a DC signal. And this seems to be also a DC signal. So I don't know the purpose of this op-amp. Normally we should retrieve this signal in one terminal of this connector. Okay, we have this signal here. Pin number 5 from the left. Pin number 4 on the left row. So I will try to see where this signal is going. If it goes directly to the rear connector of this receiver, or if there is other decoding stuff in this instrument. So maybe the 90 and 150 Hz are extracted in this receiver. In this case, it can be interesting to see this thing. I have connected temporarily this board to the interface board here, and I'm going to check if the output of the demodulator here is connected to one of the terminals here. The output of the demodulator is connected to this resistor here, from this point to this point, and this point is connected to the terminal number 4 here on the left from the top. So I will check with the continuity tester if I find the corresponding pin in this connector, this one or this one. I am lucky, it is the first one. We check. There is another one here. There are several pins connected to this terminal, so there is a good chance that the signal which is fed to the indicator is a composite signal, and the indicator should extract from this composite signal the signal at 90 Hz and the second one at 150 Hz. So I have found an indicator on eBay I will receive in a few days, so I will do a teardown of this thing, and after that we can try to connect this stuff to the indicator. This way we will have the complete system from the antenna to the indicator, and we can simulate the glide slope using a generator with two outputs. One output will be set to 90 Hz and the other one to 150 Hz, and the generator will be connected to a synthesizer which will be set in amplitude modulation, and this way we can simulate the behavior of the glide slope. Thank you for watching, bye bye.